it's me, Laura, at the Creativity Broadcast. Welcome to another collective creativity reading. We are here to gather together and, see what's there for us as a collective. These readings are meant to be funneled through your intuition, so please be listening for what resonates most with you. The collective creativity readings are really to help us with our creative projects, our creative spirit, and fundamentally to embrace our creative magic. All right, so let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Just going to take a moment and kind of emotionally wipe away stuff that's around. The message that I'm getting is about humility, not as a bad thing, not like in a humiliating way, but humility like gratitude, service kind of way. Let's check it out. We're going to start today with the Sensible Witch Oracle. One of my favorites, made by the amazing Christina Stavropoulos. Not many people know about this deck, but it's super beautiful. I actually did a video on this channel. It's called it's called Beginner Guide to Oracle Cards. Wow, I can't talk today. Anyway, I share a lot about that deck in that video. And there's even a discount code if you're interested in purchasing it that you can use. It's in the description of that video. Super cool deck. I think for this one, we're going to pull two cards because I'm feeling like there's almost like two poles, like there's two distinct energies going on. So we're just going to get kind of an overarching reflection of those coming in here with this oracle deck. Let's see. I got one. Two. Okay, one is Sea Witch. Oh my god. And the second, Crone of Honor. Ooh, interesting. Sea Witch. Look at this. We've got kind of like mature aerial vibes here. Mostly what I'm curious about with Sea Witch and interested in is in this collective this summer, we've been getting a lot of water-related imagery. I was sharing in a group that I was in this week about how in soul meditation this summer, I got a lot of imagery of like underwater, certain marine life, just like drawing a lot of inspiration, but also from our last reading. Oh shoot. I actually have two more. That's fascinating. We'll get to that in a second. I think from the last reading, we actually had pretty specific instruction from Queen of the Nagas in the White Light Oracle to actually use water as a means of purification. So anyway, kind of curious about Sea Witch. And then Crone of Honor here, we actually have a really powerful, beautiful, older woman who's holding a flame in her palm. And to me, this kind of evokes and she's got the sun rising behind her. To me, this evokes a lot of imagery of like humbling ourselves before our elders and receiving wisdom and really like honoring and respecting where certain things have come from. So I wonder if this is a little bit of like the double energy of like our watery creativity and our inventing our own powers. And then Crone of Honor is really about like storied tradition and welcoming it. So let's see what the cards have to say, actually. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Sea Witch. Again with the Roman numerals. Okay, XXVIII. Sea Witch, 28. The Sea Witch is attuned to powerful cycles, and as such, is a powerful steward of connection. She connects to the weather and moon, following how the shifts of these two forces in turn shift us all. Her deep study of these two cycles grants her compassion and understanding when in downtimes, and vigor and motivation when in uptimes. Ultimately, the Sea Witch is like water itself, confident with all of life's ebbs and flows. When this card appears, notice how you may be resisting natural cycles in your life. How can you embody water and take on a willingness to simply stretch out into whatever container you're currently in? Nice. Yeah, that's really like the flexibility, the adaptability of water as an element. And I'm also just kind of amazed by the duality, the kind of double cycles that are being referenced in the Sea Witch reading. Pretty cool. The weather and the moon. Yeah, it's a pretty big forces. Let's see. When it comes to the Crone of Honor, all right. Crone of Honor, it's number 40. At the end of your life, what do you want people to say about you? How do you want to be remembered? The Crone of Honor ponders these questions as she weaves her legacy. When this part of the journey ends, there are ripples left behind that can continue to be felt, seeds planted that will continue to grow. When this card appears, you are invited to ponder like the crone does. What do you want to be remembered for? What will be your legacy? Don't succumb to the whim of overcomplicating your answer. Likely it's there in front of you. Wow. So with the two of these, it's really interesting because I feel like Sea Witch is kind of like a response to the present moment. And Crone of Honor is kind of asking us just to, even though we may be, surfing some waves or like moving through a cycle of some kind, we want to honor where we are in the present and flow with it and embrace it. Crone of Honor is much like how the Sea Witch reading related water to the weather and to the moon. It's almost like Sea Witch is helping us navigate the weather, and Crone of Honor is the moon. It's this kind of larger gravitational force that if we really embrace it and we ask these questions about our legacy and we're thinking about that big picture, it actually makes it easier to weather the weather. That's kind of like the sky, the thing that everything is up against and moving towards. But I think Crone of Honor also often is a question answer. If we're feeling really tossed around by the seas of life, thinking about the legacy we'd like to leave behind is a way to sort of like humbly serve everything around us all the time, which gives a lot of purpose and meaning and definition. This can also be a really powerful question if you're feeling the need to make a change, whether it has something to do with your creativity or your career or something. But it's really interesting seeing these two kind of woven together. I'm definitely feeling the the sort of like double vision of this myself. I want to share with you guys the other cards that emerged while I was doing this reading. They're fun and beautiful, and let's see how they relate. So this first one is called The Wild. Look how gorgeous that is. So beautiful. Her shirt matches mine. That's nice. And then this other one is The Kitchen Witch. And I feel like just kind of being with these cards, I'm aware of how much like these are kind of bigger questions, and these are kind of the day-to-day. How do we work? What are we up to? Where are we creating our magic? Where are we getting our inspiration? And so Kitchen Witch is a lot of like creating and making. The wild is like, to me, the wild is like major exploration, like major permission slip to like explore and like kind of be wilded, if you will. So let's see what the book has to say. Kitchen Witch number 36. The Kitchen Witch honors all. She honors the harvest of her garden by alchemizing it into delicious meals. Yes. She honors her family and departed loved ones by infusing those meals with recipes and tradition. Isn't that what I said earlier? She honors her cycles by channeling routine and consistency. She honors herself by cleaning and protecting her home and her sacred spaces. When the Kitchen Witch appears, ask yourself how to embody home as you deepen your honor practice. Where could the reliability of integrity and routine best serve you right now? So that question about the reliability of integrity and routine, that's like you creating rituals and routines that serve the present moment so that you can show up for this big thing that you're weaving. The Kitchen Witch, also supportive in purification. If you're in any kind of rebirth process right now, like I am, these rituals and the word that she used in this is reliability and the integrity of the routines. That's really about like your routines being all lined up properly to support what you most need. It's also about you enforcing them as a practice, and kind of like your routine, your practice of your routines is sort of like your daily building up of your fence outside. It's kind of what makes your space supportive to you or not. I don't know if you've read my book, How to Be Creative in the Age of Digital Noise, but in that book, this is a huge theme of that book, is like kind of getting interested in what's in the water, in the ecosystems in your life, and what kind of boundaries actually support your creative flow, not getting polluted and like staying very pure. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think Kitchen Witch, I hear a lot of that too, of like cosmic egg energy, of kind of like weaving in lessons, takeaways, rituals, and really remembering that like when things come to a close, we do carry certain things with us, and it's meant to be that way. We're allowed to take things that we've learned and go put them somewhere else, when we're concluding chapters in our lives where we don't have to leave everything back there in order to move forward. It is actually healthy to do a little bit of gleaning and take things with us. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about the wild. Okay, that looks like 28. Am I right? No, 28 was Sea Witch. I think I mean 18. Roman numerals. Okay. All right. Have you ever hiked along a mountain? Oh my gosh, this is 18. Yeah, also breaks down to a 9. That's crazy. Okay, have you ever hiked along a mountain and unexpectedly come across a patch of flowers? Aren't they breathtaking? The strength to grow and bloom wherever they landed to be witnessed is a thing of wonder. Those plants trust they have everything they need to thrive. You too have the ability to grow wildly. You have the ability to grow and thrive wherever you choose and to be witnessed as beautiful for it. When the wild appears, ask yourself where it would serve you to break the mold. I just made a creepy face. I'm sorry. It was a real reaction. The time to grow in carefully groomed lines is over, at least for now. Oh my gosh, the wild. Were you just on the call I had with my coach? What? That's so cool and crazy. Like, growth, especially big, rapid growth, like cool, natural growth, can be huge. and beautiful and cool and untamed. And it should be, you know? Man, that's so cool. Wow, unexpected. Thank you so much. The Sensible Witch Oracle. That was like really something. I think for this, we're going to just get a little bit of further clarification. We're going to use Wisdom of the Oracle. Pocket. Ringo, what are you doing? You okay? All right. Pocket edition. Yeah, Sensible Witch is like also, I think, major permission slip to enter your new chapter and to kind of take not beginner's mind in the sense of like you might mess up, you got to learn stuff, even though that's kind of part of beginner's mind. I think it's more like following your intuition to create new rules instead of using rules from the past. So yeah, take that for what you will. All right, Wisdom of the Oracle. We are going to just... Number 10. Unfinished Symphony. Unfinished business. An incomplete lesson. Lack of closure. Need to make amends. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or a skill. Again, kitchen witch energy. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur, and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you're leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. Let's also look at the prosperity message for this one. Make sure you complete projects now before starting new ones. Perhaps you have created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything but more clutter. Now is the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign the documents, do your filing, hand in an assignment, complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends so you can move forward with surety, knowing you're on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. Okay, cool. Pretty cool. I'm also feeling I should read the protection message. It says, when unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Whoa, even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Okay. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. Spirit wants you to win. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I mean, they're always going to get me if they're using a music analogy, but I do think it's a really helpful little speed bump. Actually making sure that we can slow down, especially if you're anything like me, like you can really want to rush into the next thing. And this isn't saying not to run full speed ahead, but it is saying on an energetic level, it's really worth it to take the time to really sift through what's complete. And not only finishing things up so that you can move forward, but also being able to like say, oh, this particular journey is complete. This particular lesson is complete. It's pretty crazy to think about. I know for me, we're definitely opening up to a new chapter at West of Wonderland. And it's like everything I've ever wanted to do which is intimidating and inviting a lot of self-doubt to the table. The thing that I'm really getting from the unfinished business thing is really looking around at, like, so if that's the beginning of the new chapter, what are the components of the old chapter that actually do need to be sealed? It doesn't mean that you're not bringing stuff ahead or closing doors. It just means that there are, like, scripts that I have run in the last chapter that aren't getting run this time. You'll have to tell me if that resonates for you. Pretty crazy. Okay, I think for final advice, we're going to do Sacred Destiny. And the question we're going to ask here is about I think this is like a soul question. Something about, like, communication from our soul or something like that. Well, it's very open-ended. I'm going to leave it open-ended and see what we're given here. Wow, I've been using this deck for a long time, and I just realized that the images on the backs of the cards are like sun rising over water. Wow, that's cool. All right, let's see. Sacred Destiny. Soul communication. Blessings. Aww. Haven't seen this one in a little while. Blessings. Holy Spring. In many ancient cultures, it was believed that there were some springs that were holy. Gods and goddesses were thought to reside in or near these special places, and they were revered. Greek mythology is replete with stories of these special places. Many of the Christian hallowed water sources, such as the Chalice Well, were used for sacred purposes long before Christianity rose to prominence. These kinds of springs were thought to be healing waters, again with like the healing water thing, where blessings were bestowed by mystical beings. The sacred landscape wants you to know immense blessings are emerging into your life from those in spirit. Angels, guides, and spirit guardians are watching over you. Angelic intervention is available to you. Be open to the voice of the divine. Messages are all around you. You are protected. You are safe. Have faith that your path is guided. Watch for signs that spiritual beings are present. Profound healing energy is flowing to you in wondrous ways. Refreshing, replenishing energy is filling your life. So I think here we're just being given this beautiful, like almost springtimey energy of like, hey, the rebirth is real. It's real. Your new direction, great. Do you sometimes need encouragement? Yeah. Is it going to work out? Yeah. So I think as a takeaway, again, we're being kind of shown that water, ritual, purifying ourselves from the past or things that are haunting us, is a way to welcome in where we're going next. Not to rush it, but just to allow. I almost got this image just now of Cinderella kind of like washing the floors. making everything pristine, and she's singing, you know. I think the clearing out can also be a joyful process if we let it be. Yeah, super cool. Well, blessings, unfinished symphony. This is positive and encouraging. So if this resonates, I'd love to hear about it. And yeah, I'm just really feeling the encouragement around new beginnings, around the really trusting your intuition, and also remembering that maybe in the last chapter you had kind of an inner doubting Thomas or something, or like an inner naysayer that may have been actually really important in the last chapter. And I think in this one, your internal compass, your internal navigation system actually doesn't need the doubting Thomas naysayer anymore, but it's still around. So this is the opportunity to like really soften and again, with our rituals, like really be intentional about how we're talking to ourselves and what kind of energy we're letting in. All right. That's it for today's collective creativity reading. Hope you enjoyed. And again, if you're curious to learn more about the Sensible Witch Oracle or Oracle cards in general, you can check out my video, Beginner's Guide to Oracle Decks. Cool. I'll see you next time.